Now it's time to move to the second market driver, which is the low interest rates. In some actually European countries, like in Nordic countries, we even might get negative rates already, and then it changed some economical principles as well. So in that amazing negative or around zero interest rate environment, the alternative investments became very popular, and that's why SimCorp as a company proposed the alternative investment manager. From my personal opinion, the model has become matured pretty much. I mean, I remember the first versions, they were looked, like everything new looks a bit unfamiliar. You don't feel very much comfortable yet with it. But now, after few years already working on that concept, I must admit that it looks cool and it looks great. So, among advantages of working with alternative investment manager is, first of all, it's front office friendly, and that's very good, right? Because everything what is front office friendly means it will give you possibility to see integrated features in front office and actually reduce your front office cost eventually in the end of this process. It's also very much flexible. That's very great to know, because alternative investments might need flexibility for sure. Also from 1901, if I'm correct, the look-through the composition is also supported in Alternative Manager, which is great because look-through nowadays plays an important role. It's also compliant with IBOR, Investment Book of Records, Accounting Book of Records solutions, which is also wonderful. It means that it's integrated into software in a solid way. That basically the advantages and the strengths which you get when you use Alternative Investment Manager to process your alternative investments. There was also example of Alternative Investment Manager. It was a nice dashboard as well in the manager with interesting parameters, exposure across the sectors, across the countries. So it was also actually obviously shown how flexible this model is. So if you're busy with alternative investments and you still don't use Alternative Investment Manager model from SimCorp, it's time to think about it. Actually, also taking into account the statistics which was presented during that part of presentation, that about 60% of clients from SimCorp clients affected by alternative investments. Assets under management value was about 25% from total assets that clients have. So it means that it's pretty popular topic, and it's difficult to be not affected by it. So please take that into account. The second part of this market trend, called low interest rate yield or alternative investment manager with SimCorp wise, was about roadmap for alternative investment manager. And that roadmap actually, it was clear mentioned what already exists in the SimCorp solution called alternative investment manager, and what still is planned to be delivered within the roadmap, or still in progress, or still not there. So everything, all these elements in the roadmap were clearly split into 4 columns, 4 pillars. The first one is about portfolio management and asset management pillar. The second one will be about transaction process. The third one is about portfolio administration, and the last but not least about data collection. So let's talk about the first pillar, portfolio administration and asset management. What we have there nowadays? Well, we can see the portfolio overview of assets in the portfolio that's available. Performance calculation is available. We have look-through analysis possibilities, also good to know, and it's very important actually to have. What else we have available? There are dashboards. Of course, dashboard also available and also can be set up according to your requirements, dear clients. And what still we're missing here? What is planned in the roadmap? It was mentioned 2 things. It was about cash flow forecasting. That's a very interesting topic, I would say. And if you did homework and you watched my previous episodes, then you probably already watched the Martin Show presentation in front office, where he already mentioned the front office forecasting cash flow functionality planned to be delivered in the future. The second one, which was still missing nowadays in the system, or planned to be delivered in the future and is a part of the roadmap, was called active Kpis, active management Kpis. So basically it's about, the measurements, right? Because it's not only about expecting standard deviations of your investments in alternatives, but it's also about sustainability of investments. We also had this presentation during EUCM related to sustainable investments. So it means that in the end, the success of your return is not only measured by money, but also about ESG logic, right? Environment, social governance. So that was about the first pillar, covered asset management and portfolio management. The second pillar is about transaction process. Well, in transaction process, we do have compliance, we do have transaction booking available. The only thing we don't have is machine learning process. I think that's something also planned in the roadmap to be used there, but apparently it's still not there yet, although it's a part of a roadmap. So about transaction process we just talked. Portfolio administration. Of course, after transaction, it's time to administrate your portfolio of investments. In portfolio administration, I think we have everything in place. That's what was also mentioned during the presentation. So you do have GAAP accounting principles available. The profit loss is calculated, automatically. Everything is related to accounting principles and accounting methods. That's everything is established in portfolio administration pillar, as far as I remember. Nothing really planned. Roadmap wise. The last but not least, data collection. That was full of interesting innovations which are still planned to be delivered, I suppose. It was also mentioned machine learning there, data portal, workflow, and some integration things. So data collection, I mean, within the cloud topic, of course, it's a very important thing, because moving to the cloud means not only saving costs on your infrastructure, but it will also mean for you a new level of working with the data, where actually machine learning will play a crucial role, I believe. So that was 4 pillars for Alternative Investment Manager roadmap. Regarding asset classes supported in Alternative Investment Manager, so the ones which are already supported and already available there are the following one. It's infrastructure, it's a private equity, and it's real assets. The ones which are still a part of a roadmap to be delivered to the clients, supporting wise, are the private debt and real estate. So that's basically the situation, ladies and gentlemen, we have with the Alternative Investment Manager roadmap with the SimCorp Dimension system nowadays. With the next episode, we're going to continue to consider the market drivers mapping to SimCorp Dimension solutions. Don't miss it out. Market drivers is something what really matters to your business. Market drivers is something you have to deal with every day. See you next time.